Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to be talking fashion trends for fall winter 2022. Milan Fashion Week has just passed and boy oh boy, have they got statements to deliver. Now, before we get to it, subscribe to my channel here on the tubes. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today, gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together there as well for extra perks. Thank you to all my members and patrons who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a virtual live audience. Hi guys. Hello everybody. I'm still recovering from the candy cane, corona thing. So my apologies if I cough from time to time and I clear my voice because the lungs are still healing. All right, you guys. So listen, I'm gonna read take kind of points from an article that I got here from Fashion United by Jane Mountford. Hello, darling. So top 5 trends. Basically, they're listing the top 5 trends from Milan Fashion Week for fall winter 2022. And those, they're kind of telling us like these are the things the buyers need to know. We'll go. So, listen, top 5 trends. Okay, now the first one that they list is the masculine/feminine trend for fall winter 2022. Now I'm going to also blend in photos here. Hopefully they're in the right order. Otherwise, whatever, we'll just go through them. Let me see if the first one is correct. First photo. Perfect. Yeah, well, there you go. So this is a photo from Prada, courtesy of Prada fall winter 2022. So a photo from Prada of the Prada runway. So we got a chick walking with an oversized jacket that's meant to be a male jacket. That's hence the masculine feminine. I mean, feathers aside, which were so unnecessary in my honest opinion here. It's like, we've seen this before. We've seen this many times before. Many times before. She got a beaded skirt at the bottom. The bag, classic Prada moment there. Shoes. I mean, masculine, feminine. And this is kind of like a highlight example of the masculine and feminine. But the article does state that for several years now, the main cultural conversation has centered upon gender fluidity. Which is true. I mean, we've had more and more conversations about gender fluidity. We got Vivienne Westwood, who initiated the unisex label already many years ago and is trying to kind of push the conversation of fashion more and more into that direction. More and more brands kind of jump in and out of this type of conversation according to how they need it for their own means and purposes. Apparently, Dolce & Gabbana also pushed for that. They also say more and more often men's and women's wear are shown simultaneously. Several Italian designers, including Fendi, Versace, Blue Marine, and Dolce & Gabbana, went a step further, showing looks that combined both masculine and feminine details in a single outfit. But they also say it was most evident at Prada. Singlet or wool blazer decorated with a ring of feathers around the upper arm, worn over layers, including a crystal embellished sheer midi-length skirt. Let me show you another example. This is what this one is Blue Marine, courtesy of Blue Marine fall winter 22. Image from the runway. It's kind of like Blue Marine meets Balmain in a way, you know what I mean? I would not personally say that this is a gender thing, like masculine and feminine. I think this is quite feminine. It's kind of simple or too simplistic to say, let's just put a slightly oversized jacket or slightly military shouldered jacket on a female model and let's call it gender fluid. Girl, like, we're way beyond, creatively speaking, we're way beyond that. Like, if we want to represent gender fluidity, there's so much more we can do than this, because this has been done before. Not saying it ain't pretty. If it rocks your boat, you go for it, girl. But I'm saying there's much more that we could do in the gender fluidity game than creating oversized jackets for chicks. Are you with me? I don't know. Let me know. Sky Blue says, love the jacket. I have nothing against the jacket. I have something against saying, well, this is the epitome of gender fluidity. Like, guys, come on, we can do better. Someone took her pants. Oh, don't make me laugh. I'm gonna cough. Oh my god. Dark Lozla says, better than the first one. I love masculine jackets, but with another styling. Marlene Dietrich already started the gender fluidity, you guys, in the 30s with her pants and tailored jackets and suits. Like, really? How can we bring it a step? Like, that was the 1930s. These are the 2020s. Can we evolve? Like, just saying. All right. Exactly. Silala says that's not gender fluid. That's every chick in the 90s. Okay. Next one is Gothic glamour. Or as some like to say, Gothic glamour. So let's do Gothic glamour. Let me show you an example. This is a image courtesy of Andrea Damo, Fall Winter 22. So now they say that designers including Elisabetta Franchi, Andrea Damo, and Dolce & Gabbana showed skin-bearing looks in head-to-toe black. At Roberto Cavalli, Fausto Puglisi showed fetishistic cage tops and dresses with cutouts and metal rings. Fendi showed sheer black dresses that revealed black lingerie beneath. At Versace, there were latex leggings under a corseted mini dress. And guess who was in the first row? Julia Fox. Now that she was riding that Kanye West pony. Now she got some clout. Now for let's say 1 or 2 seasons, she will be front row Senna. But then we're all going to forget about her pretty soon. Anyway, Kevin says, where's the glamour? Am I blind? Let me show you the next picture, which kind of depicts more. So this is image courtesy of Roberto Cavalli, Fall Winter 2022. Again, this is stuff that we've been seeing several seasons. Italy is always a little bit late to the game with these things, especially if there's any sort of sense of fetishistic anything and sexual anything and dark anything in fashion. Italy's kind of, they want to say they're very liberated, but they're still a very Catholic country, and their fashion still reflects the tone of the country. So for them to go this route, it took them a couple of seasons, because this has been something that people have been wearing, young kids have been wearing 5 to 6 years now already. This is nothing new. It's kind of like mainstream fashion in Italy is catching up to the trend a little bit late, because this has been on the streets and in the clubs for a while now. It actually almost feels a little old by now. They're a little bit late to the game. I mean, it's serving me the black fetish version of Lilu from The Fifth Element. Who designed that outfit for Mila Jovovich? That was Jean-Paul Gaultier. When? In the 90s. So this here, again, is nothing new. Anybody remember Lilu from The Fifth Element, and in her white bandage dress by Jean-Paul Gaultier? Just saying. Okay, so that was the Gothic glamour. Gothic deserves a different haircut and makeup, in my opinion, on top of this. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. So the next topic is puffed up. This is the third trend we're seeing from Milan Fashion Week for Fall Winter 2022. The puffed up trend, puffy nylon sporty trend, sees no sign of abating, and Milan was no exception. At Anteprima, that meant puffy nylon ochre colored outerwear and scarves. Now this image is courtesy of Max Mara, Fall Winter 2022. In fact, at Max Mara, quilted burnt orange nylon pants had zips on the sides and were teamed with second skin cashmere, darling, cashmere sweater and matching balaclava, and a pair of ochre colored nylon pants were shown with a ribbed mock turtleneck sweater. Canassa and Daniela Gregis both showed nylon bomber jackets. Let me show you the next picture so you can see the next puffy moment. This one is courtesy of Anteprima Fall Winter 2022. The puffed up trend is not flattering. I want to say it's a winter coat. Yeah, what are you going to do? I mean, if you like colorful things in the middle of winter for gray days, there's nothing wrong with this. Why not? I mean, if you like the color, sure, it makes you look a little oompa loompa-ish, but it cute, cozy, you're cocooned, you're safe. You know what I mean? You're there. You're wearing this for yourself to feel yourself. You're not wearing this to be a sexy hoe on the streets of Soho. So obviously this suits a different type of purpose. And I'm like, if you like the color, if you like that sound that these materials usually make when they kind of rub against each other, they do that. If you don't mind that, and if you want to feel like a cocooned little creature, why not? Aisha says the tights and shoes though, yucky. It's serving some 1930s nun transported into 2022, and she's like still feeling her nun oats on the inside, but she is a cocooned nun on the outside. I don't mind this 30s nun look underneath. It's a little granny-esque. I love a granny look. I mean, I'm a sucker for a granny look, so I don't mind it, to be honest with you. Just say it. Oh, Katie says this coat looks suburban mom. Anyway, now that was the third trend. The fourth trend is tartan and plaid, or as somebody would say, plaid. You've been played if you think plaid is played. So we got tartan and plaid. Now, obviously, Vivienne Westwood has been, the quintessential plaid / tartan queen since the punk era. Obviously, we all know that tartan stems from the Highlands and from Scotland, and the clans used tartan patterns to define their clans. It was almost like a signature of a family / of a clan. So, but cultural appropriation much in many ways, yes, because brands just utilize randomly patterns that they create for in reality, a certain pattern is very specific because it represents a clan. Now, if you appropriate that and you transform it into something else, you could call this, cultural appropriation moment. But anyway, they all do it nowadays. So this is courtesy, right? This photo is courtesy of Gucci, Fall Winter 2022, in collaboration with Adidas. Now, Adidas, as you can see, the three stripes, all the touches that Adidas did there, of course, the sneakers, of course, the track pants, of course, the gloves, of course, the three stripes on the cap. No, it's a definite no for me. I mean, again, much cheaper and much better if you go to a thrift shop and you combine pieces from the 70s, typical Gucci, typical Alessandro Michele for Gucci. Kind of a clash of a collection of different materials and different eras put together, looking quite cheap. Is the end result interesting? Sure, it can be, but it's something that is very easily achievable by going to a thrift store if you want. And tops it all off with this plaid pattern. Literally looks like a blanket wrapped, like a plaid wrapped around the hip. Yvonne Motino says, when you have a business meeting at 1 and a basketball game at 2, there's so much going on. There have been a couple of looks from that show that were interesting, like that kind of bridal Gothic look at the end. They should have used that as an example of a Gothic bridal look made by Adidas for Gucci. But all in all, this whole collection was like, okay. The styling is confusing here for me, says KDF. So they state in the article that following on from the pre-fall collections, Milan designers showed many outfits rendered in tartan and plaid fabrics. Some used it in an anarchic way, perhaps a nod to the kilted Scottish warriors who fought the English, or more recently, Vivienne, here they misspelled it, they said Vivienne Westwards, No, Vivian. They misspelled your name. Vivian Westward's punk movement of the late 70s. Case in point, Francesco Rizzo showed an earth-toned tartan skirt with a shredded satin pink top and overlong red-black pants at AC9. Oversized pleated plaid pants were shown with a long-lined bra and long fingerless organza gloves. Gucci collaborated with Adidas this season, as we said. Now let me show you the next photo, which is courtesy of Marni. Marni Fall Winter 22. Here again we have plaid on the skirt, and if I look close enough, maybe on the pants as well. But everybody's kind of rendering the kilt moment there with the plaid. But I think if you're going to work with tartan, you could maybe evolve it into something more than just kind of that kilt moment. It can be so much more. In fact, we have to rein it back into Vivienne Westwood. She puts tartan on bags, on jackets, on shirts, t-shirts, shoes, pants, skirts. Pardon me. Also on kilts, on everything, all sorts of accessories, and it really works. And it works particularly well when she starts mixing different tartans and layering them on top of each other. Now that is magical, and she's a master at it. So all of these other brands, they can try, but now, is it a revival of tartan? Yeah, a lot of brands are showing it, but it's about knowing where to get your tartan and knowing how to get the right one, not just from the right brand that knows how to deal with tartan, but also the right tartan for you, the right color pattern, how big the pattern is, how filigrane and little it is. There's a lot to consider when you're buying tartan. You're matching your skin tone, your hair. There's a lot to consider. Anonymikika says, I have done grunge when I was young. I will pass now. Alrighty, and the fifth and last trend, you guys, it's the most lame of all of them. As Miranda would say in The Devil Wears Prada, florals for spring, groundbreaking. Now we got winter pastels for winter, groundbreaking. So here we got one courtesy of Jill Sander, Fall Winter 2022. Sure, why not? As single pieces individually taken, they can work, they have their moments. As a total look, and it's all about matchy-matchy. It's all about full-on pastel sandy looks to kind of mimic snow or go into that eggshell realm that is almost snow but not really snow. And here we got, with each passing year, there is a growing desire for clothing in trans-seasonal colors. Winter white has been trending for many seasons now, and this coming fall will be joined by a variety of pastel shades more traditionally associated with spring. Groundbreaking. These rebels. At Fendi, icy pink, green and lavender work back to pearl gray and pop of red. At Jill Sander, Easter egg colors of pale yellow, lavender, and peach were worked into a palette of earth tones and monochromes. Let me show you the next picture. I don't have... darn. I don't know from who this one is. Hold on, let me check. So this last one, again, very pastel-y. And I want to say salmon pink and then the lavender bottom. The haircut is serving, again, very, very early 90s. It's very much Madonna in Rain. Has anybody seen the clip? And also, also very 90s, the whole erotica album moment. So this is courtesy of Maison Martin Margiela. So this is MM6 collection. So we got a little bit of that Easter moment as well. And this, again, shows you how all of these brands hire the trend setter companies that tell them and dictate, hey, 2 years from now, this is going to be the trend. Thank you, here's the bill. And so that's why it's never a coincidence that a lot of these brands, you're asking yourself, how is Martin Margiela and the other, who was the other one? And Jill Sander. How did they know? How did they both know that the Easter egg pastels are coming for winter? Because they probably hired the same company that is a trend forecasting company that told them this is a direction. And it's kind of sad that everything is dictated for us. I mean, when Meryl Streep as Miranda explained it all to Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada with a lot of arrogance in her demeanor, she, in many ways, she was very right about it. Things are decided for us. And it is annoying. And the more you know about fashion and how the business of fashion works and how the strategizing and marketing of fashion works, and the more upset you get because you don't have much choice. They decide for you. They just make it seem as if you were the one making the choice about what you like. But we all fall victim to trends. We all fall victim to FOMO. And, I do hope that, the videos that I make also kind of allow us and help us to analyze our own behavior and behavioral patterns in some sort of way, shape, or form, at least a little bit, so that we get to break out of the matrix and start thinking with our own minds. I mean, it's really hard because we are surrounded by commercials, advertisement, marketing all the time. Even when you think you're not, you still are. Because even on your phones, on your smartphones, on your devices, they're, Instagram, they're listening to you. That there's a microphone in these giblets. I tell you, every time I talk to a friend or something, or I send a voice clip to a friend, and we talk about something, a particular product, 10 minutes later, commercial pops up from, advertisement pops up on Google showing me exactly that product. I'm like, oh my God, they're spying on us. And they are. And they're analyzing us constantly. They're evaluating us constantly. They're evaluating our behavior constantly. And they're trying to find ways to manipulate us in the easiest way possible that they can to get us to purchase products. That's the bottom line. So all of this telling you like, oh, fashion trend this, fashion trend that. Yeah, bottom line, it's meant for you to fall for it and to feel like you belong to a movement. You belong to a trend that they're creating. You belong to the FOMO that they're creating. So we are analyzing fashion trends for fall winter 22. But what we are doing in reality is we are just debating and talking about what has been decided for us will be trending and selling, and how much do we want to fall into that rabbit hole or not. That's up to you. It's hard to break out of it because we're always going to be surrounded by brands. I mean, even if you go thrifting, every piece you buy there's going to be branded. Not all of us have the time, energy, talent, or willpower to sew our own clothes, to stitch and pattern, put together our own clothes. If you can, more power to you. But if you can't, well, what are you going to do? You got to think for yourself. You have to decide for yourself up to which degree do you let them manipulate you, and where is your limit. You can completely let them manipulate you, but you can also find your own style within all of that brand marketing manipulation, because it's there and it's not going away, you guys. You can't just, live on an island as a recluse and not have anything to do with other human beings at all. That's our society. That's the way it is. Good, but it's always good to acknowledge these mechanisms. Always good to keep them at least at the back of our heads so that we know, we could be like, yeah, okay, fine. We're playing the game. We're part of society. That's how the game is. But we know, we see you. So that's already a first step towards liberation, in my honest opinion. Anyway, enough blabbering. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, never forget to never give up on love, and subscribe to my channel here on the tube. Sum up this video if you liked it. You can also follow me on Instagram. Superdacob Backup is my Instagram, my new Instagram profile, because Instagram deleted my other one because I was actually making quite a few posts raising awareness about homophobia. Instagram did not like that. One wonders why. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.